Welcome to Pigskin Platoon. So we're your hosts. I'm Boston.
And I'm Christian.
So we talk about it all. Dynasty offense and defense, who to start, who to sit. We also talk about trades, rumors, rookie drafts, and breaking news on players and coaches. Draft, deploy, dominate.
What up? What up, sir?
Oh, excited about drafts.
All right, so we all know that we only have one day left before the draft, and we thought that would like to share our view and explain why we chose all these guys in the first round. There's going to be probably a lot of disagreements. There might be a lot of agreements on why we chose these, and we went back and forth going through each and every one of these positions from first to the 32nd pick of the NFL draft. Now, unfortunately, you know, we're still new, so like there was still we couldn't really figure out how to make. Oh, you're not, but I am. Okay. We couldn't really figure out how to like get the trades to happen that we think or might happen because we all know that there's going to be some trade going on in the first
Yeah.
round. I know a lot of these teams are not going to have the picks that we're expecting, but it's for fun, and we're gonna just hope that we at least nail at least one of these guys. Boston's thinking about like 25 of them, but
That's
but
rough.
I'm praying and hoping that there's one dude that I can land on this. But this is an
I think
interesting
we got
draft.
that. I think
What's
we got
that?
that with Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, yeah, that's my one. That is my one,
That's it.
guys. And almost my two, maybe with David Bailey. I don't know. That's also up in the air with Arvel Reese. I don't know. So, anywho, just so I'm gonna go ahead and shoot it off to Mr. Boston here.
All right, so number one overall pick here, we got Fernando Mendoza. I think that's pretty much a given. We know the Raiders really need a wide receiver. Oh my God, we really need a quarterback right off the bat. So yeah,
Just in case everyone knows, he is a rookie.
sorry. Okay. All right, who do you got going number two?
All right, so number two out of Texas Tech, we talked about him before, but David Bailey going to the Jets. I think with the Jets, obviously, because they got Geno Smith, I think they need to lean a little bit more towards like someone that's going to get to the quarterback on the defensive side. They need to build up that defense. Obviously, we've already seen that what happened with Seattle and the Patriots. Obviously, with those teams and like the Broncos or even the Texans, like they've all worked their way because they had a really good, solid defense. And I think David Bailey is a solid piece that could come and just wreak havoc for the Jets. And that's why I think we came under an agreement that he was the perfect spot for the Jets.
I think he's the best edge rusher right now. So yeah.
Agreed.
All right, number two, we got the Arizona Cardinals picking up Arvell Reese here. Um, I think he's going to be a good fit. Help bolster a defense that needs it. Um, he's going to be a good fit here. What do you think?
So with the Cardinals, with them having they got their corner kind of stacked a little bit with last year's, and with their safeties, I think their defensive back is pretty strong for now. They definitely need someone that's going to be their general field protection. And I think Arvell Reese, because he has climbed so far and he's been a top linebacker, there's a possibility that the Cardinals, and there's a lot of rumors and talks that the Cardinals are going to trade back and then the Chiefs might take it. But again, if not, I think the Cardinals are going to probably go with Arvell Reese. It's a no-brainer that he should land here. They definitely need to build that defense as well, just like the Jets do. I think the quarterback position, I think that they can probably get that maybe late first or early second or wherever they land at in the second. They can get a quarterback that can kind of like be behind Jacoby Brissett. So yeah, they need a future quarterback, but I think they need a future defense first. Again, that's where I land with just like talking about David Bailey. All right, so for what's up? Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, yeah, I mean, if Ty, I believe what Ty Simpson's the big rumor going in the round two with these guys, so very good possibility. And I'm not gonna lie, on this next one, if the Titans pick, I went back and forth with this guy on this one, but go ahead.
So yeah, coming in number four, we have the Ohio State man. Uh, just like Arvell Reese, I think Sony Styles is the perfect spot for the Titans to grab him. I can't imagine him slipping any further past at least between the first, or I'm sorry, the second, third, or fourth pick. Sony Styles is just a really, really raw, solid talent. Um, a lot of people are saying Jeremiah Love. I just think like from what we saw with Tony Pollard and what we saw with Tajay Spears, I just think that there might be some more depth pieces that they can get covered over a running back position. I know everybody wants, even any Titan fans out there, I know you guys want to have Jeremiah Love, but I think what you need to worry about is more of a defense, which the coach that they have, I think that that's where the mindset should be at, is focusing on the defense, building these defenses up so that you can win championships. And like, yeah, a running back is awesome to have, but you already have a 27, 28-year old running back there with a younger Tajay Spears behind him. You can get running backs second, third, fourth rounds and still be solid at the running back position. There's a good handful of sleeper running backs, and just because one running back falls in, or goes into the first round doesn't mean that you have to snatch that one solid running back. And we already know what 2027 is going to look like. So, we'll dive more into that one as well in the future, but I think this is where we need to land at with this. But you have a different opinion on that, so go for it.
I was a big, I don't know, I thought for sure running back there, help out. I mean, that team scared me if they got a really solid running back, but you're right about a lot of that. They got good running backs that are young still. So I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if they go running back, it's fine. You got your future running back.
Hmm.
And I think, Tennessee is a really good at developing running backs. I mean, look at Derrick Henry. But see, here's the thing. You had a really, really good Derrick Henry, but no championship. And
That's true.
and it's unfortunate, but you have to worry about these other pieces that make it bigger than just one running back. All right. So, number five, you want to talk about him?
Yeah. So
Okay.
Iona, I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah, this one's a little bit of a
So,
trickier name.
but we got him going guard out of Penn State, going to Jackson Dart and the Giants just to help get him some protection so that he can produce like he did last year, if not even better, just to have that extra protection there. And the reason why not necessarily a wide receiver right off the back is because he's got solid wide receivers sitting there.
Mhm. Yeah, you got Darnell Mooney, and you have Malik Neighbors are your 1-2 receivers that Jackson Dart can lean on, and you already got two tight ends back there. So I just don't see how the Giants need any receivers at this spot. I think if you want to protect Jackson Dart, he is a bit reckless. So I would hate to see him go down because he's fighting to for those yards because he doesn't have time in the pocket. It's a smart move. Hopefully the Giants, with Jim Harbaugh, I'm pretty confident that he knows what to choose at this spot. And there again, when they made that trade for Dexter Lawrence to the Bengals and they got that 10th pick, I think that they are eyeing someone that might fall that might help them as well. But I think a guard is a solid spot for them to pick at. And this the next guy that we'll talk about too is down the road or down the line with their other pick, but they can either flip-flop that pick, depending on how it lands pretty much or how the first couple picks go.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so number 6 we got Francis uh Moaga. That's I'm so sorry if I butchered that name, but the tackle out of Miami, uh, I really really liked him. He's one of the best tackles that is coming out of this draft. And if you want to protect the quarterback for the Browns, this would be the guy that you need to replace. Uh, you want to help fix those holes on that offensive line. So I think
Mhm.
with Francis coming in, he might help with being able to protect either Shador or Deshaun Watson, whoever they ultimately want to. Who knows with them? Like who knows what the Browns are going to decide? I'm pretty sure it's going to be Shador, but Browns always like to surprise everybody with what they do. So I wouldn't even be surprised if
Mhm.
they go quarterback.
Like
And just
four
kind of whiff on this
quarterbacks,
pick.
man.
But I think
Shoot.
Shador is the better option at this point.
And their current quarterback room, yeah, agreed.
Yeah. And if they go wide receiver, that's fine, but I think you can get wide receivers later on in the draft.
Hmm.
And we also will cover another pick of theirs that is later in the draft as well.
All
Okay,
right.
number 7, go for it.
We got something that is desperate need for these Washington Commanders here is a running back with Jeremiah Love going to these guys. I mean, who can argue that there's no way he's slipping past that seventh spot.
Yeah.
He's too good. They're in too big of a need for that. Because like, who do the Commanders currently have as their running backs?
They have Krosky Merritt, Jacoby Krosky Merritt, and then
Mhm.
not much
Rashid
depth after
Wright,
that.
Raheed White,
Yeah, Raheem White.
Jeremiah Ford.
Oh no,
I
they have
mean,
Rashid Shaheed, or they have Rashad White. Sorry.
mhm.
So they do. I mean, they do have a running back, but I think you can pair him up with Jeremiah Love, and I think the Commanders definitely would probably utilize Love more than White, and White
Mhm.
would just become the backup like he did with the Bucks. I think White is just a safety blanket, just in case if Love does fall to them. I think it's a no-brainer. They're gonna get him. But I think White was just a safety blanket for the free agency market, just in case if they can't get Love.
I mean, and McCroskey, or yeah, Krosky, he was drafted last year, so I mean, he still
True.
got time to develop him.
Yeah.
But I think Jeremiah perfect fit here.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Okay, number 8. Who do you got for your other favorite team?
Oh yeah, so C.J. Allen, we got going here to help out that linebacker room there. So I know the big rumor was that Ruben was going to go to these guys, but I think they need a little more help elsewhere there.
hmm Yeah.
So
I agree. I think they don't really have anybody huge that can like really make a solid impact in that linebacker position. So I think CJ Allen is definitely a much higher tier than what they would have currently. And I think he's gonna he if he falls to the Saints, I think that the Saints should get him. That's my recommendation on that. Um, I would actually be happy for the Saints if they get another or a solid structure piece for their defense. All right,
okay.
number 9, we got the infamous Chiefs.
Cedars, sorry.
Well, So we have the safety out of Ohio State, Caleb Downs, coming in at number 9 for the Chiefs. Um, yes, I think since they lost Trent McDuffie, I I think that they need to worry about their secondary. Um, there's talks that they're going to go to receiver. There's talks that they're going to go tight end, but um, I won't be surprised if they go in that direction. But a smart move would be Caleb Downs for them, since they have a lot of good names on that defense. Continue with getting more good names on that defense if you want the Chiefs to succeed. I know there's a lot of Chiefs fans out there, so if you want them to succeed, you need to look at Caleb Downs as a solid piece to lock down that backfield.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. Okay, your favorite position right here, favorite
Oh
person.
man, we got Jacob Rodriguez going to the New York Giants here. Go Big Blue. They need that help there at the linebacker, and I just believe that Rodriguez is slated way too low in the draft, and he definitely should be top first round draft pick or right where he lands here. He's gonna absolutely take that team to hold that defense to a whole new level, and yeah, and give Jackson Dart that elite defense he needs.
Yes. Yeah, I think Jacob Rodriguez would be I ultimately he would make a such a huge impact on this defense. And I've been kind of sitting back and I've been watching how they've been accumulating all these players and what they've been doing over the last couple years. And I think that they're onto something here. If they land these two spots here with the fifth and the 10th spot, you're not only helping Jackson Dart, but you're also helping, completely squashing any kind of run game or any kind of pass game. When you have Jacob Rodriguez in the back, he is a
Mhm.
game changer, home wrecker. Um, he is someone that you don't want to pass up, and I think that Harbaugh should be watching him tomorrow
Mhm.
on this one.
I agree. I mean, you look at Harbaugh's defenses have always been like top tier defenses, so I wouldn't
Yeah,
expect him to change that coming here. So,
right, exactly.
all right,
Uh,
who do you got next?
So for number 11, I got the Miami Dolphins at with wide receiver going Carnell Tate. I think, oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to bleep that out. Fine. Uh sorry.
You're good. Parnell Tate.
Yes, Carnell Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio State, number 11 spot. I think with losing the receivers that they have, Malik Washington, or I'm sorry, yeah, Malik Washington and who else do they have that they just acquired? I believe it was oh geez, who was that? Who did they just acquire? Who did the Dolphins just acquire at wide receiver to pair up with Malik Washington? Oh, Jalen Tolbert. That's right. So I think that Jalen Tolbert and Malik Washington, if you can get Carnell Tate in there, I think he would be a really good, solid person for Malik Willis, and Malik Willis would have a very good comparison when it comes to. Sorry, dude, I'm all over the place. Just throw me right off. Um, So yeah, Carnell Tate, I think would be a good matchup for this spot. He is definitely someone that's going to change the game. I think he'll definitely help Malik Willis a lot and bail him out a lot in this team. So that's where I pick Carnell Tate at.
I agree.
Who do you
Um,
got for the Cowboys?
Number 12, we got Mansoor here coming. LSU cornerback trying to help out that defense and kind of getting that defense back up to speed here. They need extra weapons in the backfield for them because yeah, they lost Diggs, and I know they lost a couple other guys. So he's perfect rookie. He's gonna come in and he's gonna elevate that defense for those guys.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know, when you have Deron Bland on one side of the field, he is a big game changer. If you can get
Mhm.
another corner at this caliber, Mansard Delane is another good, really good matchup that you can have next to uh Deron Bland. And I think that that's just going to bolster up this defense for the Cowboys and continue to have a really good, solid defense going forward with starting alone just with the Cal or just with the secondary as their first
Yeah,
pick.
agreed.
All right, so number 13, we got a tackle out of Utah um, going to the Rams. I think with Matt Stafford in the position that he's in, it we're kind of looking at maybe one good more year and he might retire. Who knows? But I think if you want to like protect him, and there is a lot of people saying that there's a receiver that's going to go here. I mean, you already have Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams still. You know, you can still buy time with Devontae Adams. I think right now you need a tackle, and that's why I think Spencer Fano would be a perfect spot for the Rams to get someone to continue to protect uh, Matt Stafford, so that you can have a good run, you
Hmm.
know, into the playoffs. If that was like the projection that they're going for, I think this would be the solid spot.
Yeah, and then nothing like bringing in a tackle to help guard Stafford and then the future quarterback of your team too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So number 14 here. Or what, you still got stuff?
Nope,
No?
nope, you're
Okay.
good.
We got Makai Lemon. I picked Makai Lemon going here to these guys to help bolster that offense there and to help give Lamar Jackson some more targets here. I mean, he's got a really good wide receiver core there anyways, but why not give him an extra weapon, somebody else that he can help that he can develop into a real serious threat for that team.
Yeah. Yeah, you got Zay Flowers, not much depth after that.
Mm-mm.
And I think that they need someone to kind of match up on the other side to help Zay Flowers out and help Lamar out. I've always kind of worried about this offense ever since a lot of their like coaching staff is gone and the some of the players that are gone now. But I think with the secondary defense that they have, and then with some of their edge and linebackers area, I think they need to worry about matching up on an offense to help Lamar Jackson out. Because Lamar Jackson's getting older, and he still has that production, but I think he's getting to that level where like, okay, I need to stay in the pocket and pass more. I need more weapons, and I think this is like a good spot for Makai Lemon to fall to. So coming at number 15, we have the Bucks going for tight end. Again, this is a team that a lot of teams have been saying, or a lot of people have been saying that the tight end position is what they need. Yes and no, but I do think that if they do go tight end to help Baker Mayfield out have another weapon, I would say Kenyon Sadiq. He's fast and he can get open and he can help Baker get those passes off. I think Kenyon Sadiq is another solid spot that eventually can take over Cade Otton. Even though I liked Cade Otton, but I think this guy is going to be better. as long as he develops the right way.
Were you thinking they're going to take what, a guard there
I think
as a
that they,
potential?
if I wouldn't be surprised if they go offensive
Hmm.
line, interior.
Yeah.
I think if they don't go to Kenyon Sadiq, Monroe Freeling is the guy that they need to get. Or, well, I said interior, but I think either Monroe Freeling on the outside or, um, there's not much like interiors, but I think he would be a good spot to fall on. And if they go offensive line, that's perfect.
All right. So at the 16th slot, we got McCoy, Tennessee cornerback for these guys to help bolster up that to help with that defense. They lost arguably one of the best corners and cornerbacks in the league, and why not fill that gap with this with a um young rookie here coming out of Tennessee?
Yeah, Jermon McCoy is a good corner. So here's another spot that the Jets go from edge rusher to corner. Again, building up that defense, that powerhouse that a lot of Jets fans really, really want. And I think this would be the perfect spot for them to have a corner. Even though since they lost Sauce Gardner, they need another big name back there to kind of help out in the secondary position. Good pick. All right.
All right, who do you got next?
Yep. So for number 17, we got Detroit Lions, and this is where again, I think if the Bucks doesn't go, this is where I think Monroe Freeling will fall to with the Detroit Lions. Definitely helping out Jared Goff. Offensive line would be a good spot for it.
Mm,
All right, and then or did you have any opinions on Detroit getting him?
No, nope. I think they need to bolster up that offensive line. They had one of their offensive line guys suddenly retire on them they weren't quite expecting, so it only makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There's not
Yeah.
much really behind that they really need to be concerned about. They can get more depth at different positions later on. I think that they just
Hmm.
need to focus on keeping that offense healthy and strong and behind Jared Goff so that Jared Goff can have time and not scramble so much.
Hmm. No fake
Um,
fumbles for extra yards.
yeah, exactly. All right, this is your pick. Number
Okay, so
18.
number 18, yeah. So I got Dylan Thieleman coming in, safety out of Oregon. I love this guy since pretty much since he came out or since he entered the draft. I think he's going to be a big game changer for these guys.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, there's no brainer here. A lot of people are expecting him to fall to the Vikings anyways. So I
Mhm.
think, with Harrison Smith getting up there, I'm so surprised how long he's been in the league, to be honest with you. It's just crazy how well of a career he's gotten as being a top safety for so many years. I think Dylan Thieneman would be a perfect spot to learn behind that legend right there. And
Mhm.
with that being the case, why not? Why not get that position? All right. So, with the 19th pick in the NFL 2026 draft, Carolina Panthers select the man, the myth, the legend, Miami's own Reuben Bain Jr. I think with Ruben Bain going there, is definitely going to help out with Derek Brown. And they got Nick Scorton a couple years ago when they got him. I think with J.C. Horn in the back and with Ted McMillan being their front end offensive lineman, wide receiver, and Jalen Coker as their second string receiver, and um, their running backs aren't like in a dire need right now. I think right now it should be focusing on pass rush, and Ruben Bain's gonna is gonna do that for the Panthers. If anything, I think the Panthers definitely need someone to help out Brown all big time. And Derek
Definitely.
Brown's getting up there in age a little bit, so like get some fresh blood in there and learn behind uh Brown. And I think even he's a true worthy starter right off the bat too. So
Mhm.
what do you
As
think?
long as his I agree. As long as his off the field antics, well, I can't even say. As long as none of that stuff that happened to him in what I think 24 doesn't follow him anywhere, he'll be an absolute solid edge rusher.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yep.
okay. So we got the 20th pick here. We got Akeem Massador going to the Dallas Cowboys. I think Akeem's going to do really good here. They are going to have their tight end or their edge rusher to replace. Oh my goodness. Sorry, edge rusher. Who's their old edge rusher?
Oh, Mike Parsons.
Micah Parsons to replace Micah Parsons. They're going to need it, and I think this guy's going to be a starter right off the
Yeah.
bat for this team.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth when it comes to Michael Parsons. I think to make up for losing him, Akeem's gonna come in and he's gonna put up the production that they're probably hoping for with him. And he actually rose a lot after the combine.
Yeah,
Uh, I kept seeing his stock just going up and up and up and up. And so I think fingers crossed that if the Cowboys want a solid defense, then they need to get these two picks this year with we just talked about them earlier, Mansur Delane and Akeem Mesidor. If they can get those two, then that would be perfect as their defense, and then they can focus on if they want to do anything with the offense. I know the running back position is only Javonte Williams. You might want to have someone just in case if something happens. Hopefully not, but I would prefer like if you want to look for any weapons, I would say look into getting a running back in the second round as like their next
for
pick
sure.
after this.
I agree. Hopefully he continues. Hopefully Javante continues to do good.
Mhm.
But
Absolutely. All right, for the Steelers at the 21 pick, what do you got?
we got Proctor. We got Caden Proctor going tackle out of Alabama. And they're going to help protect whoever's in the backfield there, whether it's Aaron Rodgers or it's somebody else new that they wind up picking up.
Mhm. Yeah, for several years now, the Steelers have always been talked about having not the greatest offensive line, and I
Hmm.
think any Steelers fans should understand that their their biggest need is those outside offensive tacklemen. Um, you know, Caden Proctor he's been another one that kind of emerged a lot after the combine and like watching his tape, he's a very good talent, and I think the Steelers should get Proctor. And yeah, if they roll with um they roll with a younger QB, or if they roll with Aaron Rodgers again, you definitely want to have that protection over them. That's where I think with them getting the running backs that they got now, um, I don't see why they would want to go either running back or wide receiver or defense. It's kind of been showing that that was what they're leaning towards is more of an offensive line, especially with getting Pittman on that team.
Yeah. And then what? You got Jalen Warren and then Rico yeah, that are going to do perfectly good for this team.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. He showed up pretty well with the Panthers, so I don't see why he wouldn't show up for the Steelers.
Yeah. All right, who do you got going at the 22 pick?
So here's another guy that I really, really like. Me and you had this little bit of a difference. I think that they have a couple weapons, but you made some good points that like they're not fully solidified as like really like dependable for Justin Herbert. So it only
Hmm.
makes sense to try and target a receiver to help out Lad McConkey. Uh he can't do everything. So, he's got to get a workload shared with someone that can equally, if not match up to being a little bit better than Lad. And I think Jordan Tyson is another solid uh, rookie that's coming out of this year's draft that is going to, if he lands with the Chargers, he is going to be that wide receiver too. And it'll help Justin Herbert get that ball out to someone that he can rely on and he can trust. And we talked about in our previous episodes, you know, you got to find that quarterback that's gonna, or you got to find that weapon, that receiver or tight end or receiving back that you want to build that connection of trust with your quarterback. And I think Jordan Tyson would be a good fit for the Chargers here.
I agree.
All right,
All
who do you
right.
got for the Eagles here?
Okay, so we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the 23rd pick, taking Casey Concepcion, our wide receiver coming out of Texas A&M. I agree. I mean, he's really good. I mean, what last year, 61 receptions, 919 yards, 9 touchdowns. This is somebody that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to need here because it really sounds like they're going to lose AJ Brown, and
Mhm.
then they're going to need somebody there to help replace him. So, I
Yeah,
mean, who do they got? So, Devontae Smith is gonna be their wide receiver one for sure. Hollywood Brown's gonna stick at their wide receiver three, and they need a wide receiver two now. And I think
yeah,
he'll fit in right there.
yeah. I completely agree. I think, like you said before, with AJ Brown most likely out the door. They need someone that's gonna, you know, help out Devontae Smith. And Devontae Smith is so good, so underrated receiver. And, you know, now he's gonna finally get that opportunity to show that he is a receiver one. I know it took so long behind AJ Brown, but that,
Hmm.
it is what it is. But I think KC is a perfect fit for the Eagles. They they almost have like almost every position with a name on it. And
Hmm.
you know, it only makes sense for them to have that one true missing hole, and that's the receiver position of wide receiver two.
Yeah,
Perfect spot for KC to to get there. Jalen Hurts again is a really good quarterback, and I think it'll boost up KC a lot, especially in Dynasty as well.
I agree. All right, who do you got at the 24 pick? Be right back.
Okay. So, what I got right here with the Browns pick at 24, I have the Indiana wide receiver. So literally three receivers. Is it going to happen back, with all three receivers going in a row? Probably not. But I would like to think that maybe 23 and 24 are probably going to be the same as far as looking at receivers. Um, Amar Cooper Jr. So another thing that the Browns was struggling in was getting those like that one like reliable receiver. And they've always been trying to find it in free agencies or trades over the years. And I think with Jerry Judy still being the receiver one, Omar Cooper doesn't is not forced into being receiver one. He can be the receiver two. Yeah, and we know about Cedric Tillman and we know about Isaiah Bond there as well. I just think that Omar Cooper has that it factor that could leverage Shador a lot, especially with getting a tackle early. Would be a perfect lineup for the Browns and helping Shador. Um, it's a no-brainer. Like the way that this is set up, how can you not like miss this opportunity of getting a tackle and a receiver in the first round? They're always really good at covering with their defense. You got Mason Graham and you got Myles Garrett. That's perfect right there. So so the Browns have Carson Swearinger and they have Devin Bush in the linebacker position, and then they got their defensive back with Denzel Ward and a couple other guys. It's not a big need at the moment. And I think their receiver position is definitely a must need. Got Quinshon Judkins. They got their tight end, Harold Fannin. This would be a good spot for Amar to fall to the Browns.
Agreed. Yeah.
All right, so who do you
Yep.
have? What's up? Go ahead. You're good.
No, no, you're good. So I got at the 25th pick, we got Emmanuel McNeil Warren, safety coming out of, I'm not sure what college that is.
Oh,
Um,
Toledo.
Toledo. Uh, yeah, they just need that help there at that safety position. Um, Not too big of a presser for these guys, but let's give that defense a little bit of extra, man, because Caleb's got a lot of really good weapons there. He's got probably one of the top best offensive lines sitting there. So,
Yeah.
uh, what they got Cam Lewis, they just signed. He's sitting on his seventh season. And then who's the other guy they got? Cody Byron or Bryant, sorry, who they drafted in 20 or who was drafted in 22 by the Seahawks. So, I mean, they got a one good young safety back there. I would say perfect.
Yeah.
Bolster that position. Go for it.
No, yeah, I know you're exactly on the money on that one. I think uh with a secondary like Emmanuel is gonna help out that defense a lot. I think that's what they kind of I think that's what they kind of struggled in the playoffs. They needed some more depth, someone that could really stop those offenses. Um, and I think that's where I think this kid from Toledo could definitely make an impact for them. I know when the Chicago was facing the Rams, uh, yeah, a lot of people thought that Chicago was had taken that one home, and got that win, but then Rams just kept throwing it down the field on them. And I think if Manuel works out for them, this would be a good pick, good hit on the first round for the Chicago.
All right. So who do you got next?
So for the famous Buffalo Bills, we got the kid from Auburn, edge rusher Keldrick Folk. Now he came up very quickly, coming up pretty close to the draft. He has gotten a lot of buzz. He's very quick. He's really good at getting to the QB. I really like Keldrick Folk's highlights. I think this would be a solid spot for him to land to. Possibility of him going any sooner, yes, but I think if they can get Keldrick Folk, this would be a solid spot for him. I know that they got Bradley Chubb, but I would lean a little bit more to Folk now than Chubb at this point. Um, Yeah, the Bills have already gotten their receiver. You got Khalil Shakir behind DJ Moore, and then you got uh Coleman as well.
Yep, you got Coleman.
So yeah, I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect for them to have a good edge rusher.
Okay, so we got Blake Miller, the 27th pick for the San Francisco 49ers, coming in to help protect Brock Purdy a little bit here.
Yes. Yeah. It's not my favorite, but you know, it's not, yeah, you need to protect Brock Purdy, and Blake Miller is definitely the guy that could definitely do that 100%. Very good in Clemson. Um, he definitely shined a lot. I think he could probably fall a little bit sooner, but it just seemed right for this spot to kind of like just continue bolstering up that offensive line.
So, like here in this, I don't see Thielemann falling this far. I mean, this guy, they've got a lot of talks that maybe if Blake Miller, if they don't wind up picking him up, Thielemann's going to go there.
Yeah, if Thieneman gets to that spot, which it doesn't, I don't see how he can get past the Vikings. It just makes perfect sense for the Vikings to get him. But yeah, you're right. If the Niners somehow survive to get Thieneman right there in their pocket, yeah, why not grab him? That would be the perfect spot. And
But I mean, getting a tackle there to help protect Brock Purdy, and I mean, it's a no-brainer for me.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So for the Texans, what do you got?
Caleb Banks coming in, defensive end, or yeah, defensive line, gonna help bolster an already just on unstoppable defense. It's gonna be insane for these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is to be a good spot too. You know how we talked about before with some of these other teams when it comes to um working on someone that can help out with their already elite edge rusher. So with Will Anderson, Caleb Banks could really fill in and help get and pressure the quarterback on another side of the field. And we can say that the Texans should go with offensive line. Yes, that would be a good spot. I would say if something happens where Blake Miller falls to them, then I would say yeah, I would say I wouldn't be upset with the Texans getting Blake Miller either. So like that's my other kind of possibility as well of a switch. So like Blake Miller or Caleb Banks, it'd be a toss up at that spot. So coming in for the 29th for the Chiefs. Whoa, got the sun behind you.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
we got the Chiefs.
Yeah, we got the Chiefs. Number 29 pick. We got now what everyone's talking about earlier in the draft, but I think this would be the spot for them to get a receiver. And no one else but Denzel Boston is the next best available receiver for this spot. And I think Denzel Boston will definitely help out with the core that they have right now. And he's rose up a lot in this draft order here. And I think what would they get as Caleb Downs is what I would prefer them to get in the first their first pick, and then worry about the receiver in the second pick because I think with their second pick they can play with that pick a lot. With everything that's going on with that offensive or that core of receivers, I just think that this would be a you know who knows there could be more higher end receivers that might fall at that point to them. But I think if this is the way it should, or if this is the way it comes out to be, I think Denzel Boston would be a solid fit for the Chiefs.
I agree. 'Cause we don't know what's going on with that wide receiver room, how Richie Rice is gonna do, if something's gonna pop up on what he's currently dealing with. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and I've heard a couple little other talks that the Chiefs could go running back. You could probably get that in the second round, maybe third. I don't know. I don't see them going running back. I would be absolutely shocked. And there's also been those talks of getting a tight end behind Travis Kelce. Eli Stowers is still there. That's another possibility.
Uh,
Or Max Clare, which I think in the second round, Max Clare could be that guy that they can probably grab, and that would be more appropriate in the vision that I see. Max Clare
yeah.
going to the Chiefs in the second. All right. So, who's your 30th pick?
All right, we got a 30. We got Avian Terrell, cornerback out of Clemson, going to the Miami Dolphins. The trade they got from the Broncos here for they need help on that defense. They've got some older guys that are sitting back there that they can use a little bit of help with.
Yeah, yeah. Getting a receiver, solidifying that early on is a really good key important thing. And I've been hearing a lot of good things. The draft stock on Avian Terrell has been climbing a lot too, and
Hmm.
it would be really, really freaking awesome if they can land the Clemson kid. That would be a good pick for their defensive backfield. All right. Number 31, the Patriots. This is my boy. I I would be shocked if he goes any further back behind this. I would be pleased if he went up further than this, but realistically, I think this is where the landing spot for Cassius Howell lands at. 31 gets selected by the Patriots. I really, really enjoyed watching his tape. He is what I think is like a little bit of a lighter version of a Roquan Smith slash Micah Parsons play style. I loved watching Micah Parsons. Like he is a guy that honestly could go anywhere and be a terror on the field. And I think Cassius Howell is being slept on quite a bit. Yeah, he's getting a lot more talk now, but this Texas kid, he is everything that I would love in a edge rusher. Um, Definitely one of my favorites. I think he is a going to be a cornerstone for the Patriots edge or Patriots defense with uh uh Christian in the backfield.
Yeah, because this is the guy you're hoping your team picks up, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm if he go like I would if he goes to the Patriots, whatever, that's fine. I would personally love to have Cassius Howell learn behind like Demarcus Lawrence or Jaden Reed. Like it would be the perfect spot for an edge. And I know we lost a corner, but coming in at number 32 spot, I got my team picking the corners or corner Colton Hood. Uh, Colton Hood best available, honestly, and I think Colton Hood is like going to be the guy that will make up. If I think maybe even better, elevating that other side of the field where I think Reek Woolen couldn't really do, in my opinion. I liked Reek Woolen in his rookie year. He was awesome, fantastic. Thought he was going to continue pursuing an upwards trend. Kind of was like coastered and then just kind of dipped up, down. He was kind of a little bit of a roller coaster for him. So I'm hoping Colton Hood is going to be the perfect person in our system here.
Yeah, I agree. I think I've predicted him going to your team for a while now, and I don't think he'd what a better spot to land, man. I think.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely agree. All right. Well, that wraps up our all of our mock draft picks that we have. I know we only have one mock draft, but it's right around the corner. So hopefully we landed a few of these guys. Ideally, realistically, obviously we didn't land everybody, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we got a few guys right, and maybe we can talk about it right after the draft. It would be awesome to have these discussions about where these guys land, and it's just going to be even better content. That's it from us today. Pigskin Platoon, where football lives.
And hot takes fly like bad trades.
Two voices, one game.
We'll catch you on the next snap.
Thank you for watching and smash that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon so you can catch all of the updates on all football from us. And comment down below and let us know how we did and where we can do better at. We appreciate it and have a good one.